ACP, you see this?
Look, if it ain't official DanaJay, Prima Donna News, I don't even want to see it.
Though we don't know what tomorrow will bring us, let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Although we don't know what tomorrow will bring us, let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Dear world, I'm writing this letter in an attempt to make things just a little better. This is about living through life's stormy weather, because the truth is that we're not gonna live forever, and that's my point. Well, let me start with my boy that's doing 15 in a joint. A man, he could hoop, but he loved the street life. Could've went pro, instead he chose the street life. He turned rapper and wrote about the street life, but still could not make it out the street life. And one day he bought a Glock. Wait, now page number 2 will take you to another block. A man and his wife can't get along, all they do is fight. Both too stubborn to apologize, and sometimes it gets so bad they hope each other die. And one day she couldn't take it no more, so she decided to run out of the door. She jumped in the car and swerved off in a rage, and baby, I'm sorry was all over mistake. Oh, we don't know what tomorrow will bring us, let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Now that my homie done bought himself a gun, he stuck up some liquor stores, now he's on the run. Do anything to avoid the police, now he's strung out on drugs and life is getting deep. To anyone, he would do anything, give him the chance and he'd steal anything. Next thing he did really screwed up his life, but first let's go back to the husband and wife. Now he's on the phone with his pastor, and she's on the phone with her mother. He tells his pastor the woman is driving me crazy, then swore up and down she's not the same lady. She says, Mama, the man has been treating me so bad ever since we found out that I couldn't have babies. Then Mama says to her, girl, hold on. Pastor says to him, be strong. No, we don't know what tomorrow will bring, so let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Although we don't know what tomorrow will bring, let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Now there's a warrant out for my boy's arrest, cause he done went and stabbed someone in the chest. Man, them drugs just got him breaking all of the rules now. His face is posted up and all over the news now. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, the husband and wife are starting to break down. She says to Mama, maybe I ought to call him. And Mama said, now that's the spirit. He says to Pastor, maybe I should call and say I love her. He say, I'm sure she loves to hear it. Then she gets a call on the other line. It's the doctor saying your test results came back fine. Congrats, girl, you're pregnant. Then she cries, finally a miracle sent from heaven. Now meanwhile, the other side of town, all hell broke loose and it's going down. Cops chasing Reginald all over town. He's running every red light and driving real wild. Now meanwhile, and this ain't fiction, here is where I need y'all to pay close attention. She's so happy, she calls her husband up. He says, I'm sorry, baby, just as soon as he picks up. She says, I'm sorry too, and I got good news for you. Steve, I'm pregnant and on my way home to you. He jumps for joy, scream hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. While Reginald is still chased by police. She takes the highway, it'll get her there much faster. Reginald on the skyway, chase lasting forever. With the helicopters right over his head, with the searchlights on him. Oh man, now he starts panicking. Rachel's driving, so excited she's not realizing that just a block away, a man is on the run, while the husband's at home praying for a son. And the policeman is screaming, hold the car. Rachel calls her husband and says, I'm getting close. He says, honey, I'm fixing up something special in the kitchen. And at the same time, Reginald makes a stupid decision. He turns down a one-way street. Then Rachel notices this car coming and yells out, Steve, out of control, a senseless mission. Next thing you know, a head-on collision. Oh, we don't know what tomorrow will bring us. Let's live today. I'm saying just in case.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
But I know that there's more. More for you, more for us.
Children, rain all night long. Didn't it all, didn't it all, oh, my Lord. Didn't it rain? Didn't it rain, children? Rain all night long. Didn't it all? Didn't it all? Oh, my Lord. Didn't it rain?
You can't run from it. You can't deny it. You can't pass it off. It's your call. God knew what he was doing. He knew who he was calling, and he expertly and intricately detailed every aspect of your life, your being, your persona, your psyche, your physicality, everything about you, from the texture of your hair to the color of your eyes to the way that you laugh to the fingerprint on your thumb. Everything is connected to your calling, and until you walk into the fullness of the thing that you were created for, you will find yourself frustrated. You're called.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Touch it, touch it, touch it. Doing what your body says. Touch it, touch it. Anybody come to me? Touch it, touch it, touch it. Let me know what I'm supposed to. Touch it.
You're saying everything they said in that documentary about you is not true.
They are lying on me.
You are supporting a pedophile.
Nothing good about me. I'm just a
child molester, the devil. Come on, guys. As long as my breath is going in and out, you know, I try to, even when I get ready to complain, I think about that and I say, you know what? I ain't gonna even say nothing. I just breathe, baby. I breathe on these niggas, you heard me? 20-some women trapped in my house in the basement in Atlanta. Well, first of all, my house in Atlanta doesn't even have a fucking basement. This is my story. The only thing I could do is say what's real and say what's on my heart and give it to y'all like y'all want it. You want the truth. The ladies are here right now. You ain't even got an education. You didn't even graduate from high school. You don't even really read, you know, and all of this old shit they told me. And I started believing that shit, man. But just something in me kept calling this shit. My heart was pumping this shit. It was pumping this shit. Hey fans, how y'all doing? It's your boy KELLS. I love y'all. Thanks for supporting me for the last 30 years of my career. I'm very appreciative of that, and just you guys have kept me humble, kept me grounded, and kept me putting out this music for you guys. You guys inspired me to do it, so I'm gonna do it until you say don't do it no more. Don't say that though. If I met your daughter and I took your daughter out and she was of age, what the fuck am I gonna do? Everybody, put your hands to the sky. You ain't got no money? Shit. Sue R. Kelly. Mute R. Kelly.
You are controlling, that you are abusive, that you tell women when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when they can sleep, where they can dress.
I know y'all know that shit is ridiculous, but the crazy shit is this stupid motherfuckers want to believe this shit.
That shouldn't be happening.
Every level, there's another devil. Whoever you are right now looking at me in my eyes, look in my fucking eyes, okay? I don't give a fuck about this fame shit. I'm a real motherfucker. My main goal is to unconfuse the world about R. Kelly. I'm ready, yeah. I'm ready, yeah. I'm ready to say what I feel. Keep it real. Say what I feel. You don't know me. You ain't never been in my house. You ain't never been in my bedroom. So you cannot judge me.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Shooter, you shot me in the heart, and I've been dying since we've been apart. Oh, shooter, I don't think I'm gonna make it. See, I'm just as good as dead. I'm good as dead. Whoa, bullseye. Girl, you shot me down to my knees, yeah. Since you took your love from me, and I'm holding on to the hopes that you will return. Although I feel I've lost you forever, I will believe that you still love me. Girl, say you do, say you do, say you do, say you still love me. Shooter, shooter, yeah. You shot me in the heart, oh yeah. And I've been dying since we've been apart. Oh, 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 shooter, shooter. I don't think I'm gonna make it. No, and I'm just as good as dead. Ooh, ooh, ooh. See, I neglected the fact that your love was precious.
What's up,
and
y'all?
I should have took more care of it. And now every minute you're gone.
What?
Girl, I sit here just dying alone.
Hey,
and
dancers.
I wish that I could have dodged that bullet of you leaving me. Shooter! Woo! Shooter!
Anthony Coop in the building.
You shot me in the heart.
One of the hottest entertainers out there. And I'm about to rebrand them, though. Shout out Dream Team. What's going on?
Oh, shooter! No, no. Oh, I don't think that I'm gonna make it. No, no, no. And I'm just as good as yeah. Oh, shooter!
Let's go. Y'all know when I get like this is on.
Since we've been apart, yeah. Shooter, 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 shooter. See, I just don't think that I'm gonna make it without you, baby. Shooter. I gotta go. I don't wanna go.
He don't want to go, but he got to go. Shout out to everybody that's here. Dream Team, what's going on? Oh, my God. Dream Team in the building. Oh, my God. That's how we rock. Dream Team and friends. How y'all doing, man? Shout out to everybody that's here. Listen, you see the title. Official Dana J, which is me, versus the false prophet Jamal Bryant. And plus, I'm going to talk a little bit of KELLS because I got some sugar honey iced tea to say. Now, I know what people going to say out there, everybody on all the platforms. Why is he going after Jamal Bryant? You about to find out why. You about to find out why. But before we get into this, if you like the program, if you like the show, if you on YouTube, if you on Rumble, at the bottom of the chat box on Rumble, it's a bag with a $sign and it's called the Rumble bag. You can donate anything. On YouTube, it's a box with a $sign on it. It's called the Rumble box. You can donate anything. All right. If you just want to hit my Cash App and say, well, Dana, just take lunch on me, then you can hit the Cash App at $OfficialDanaJay. Also, going across the bottom of the screen, there's a Patreon. Join me on Patreon, y'all. It's www.patreon.com/OfficialDanaJay. Also, join me on Twitter, which is known as X. And on X, I'm Dana J, the brand. Also, I have other ways that you can connect with me. If I'm not live and you want to come to my page and you want to donate, you can go to any of the links at top of the page, and then you can donate that way, okay? And with that being said, I thank everybody for coming. But donating is just willingly. That's what keeps the channel going, but it's willingly to you. And you don't have to if you don't want to. But what's mandatory is that you come and violate the hell out of me. And how do you violate me? By hitting that like button, y'all. Once y'all hit that like button and keep hitting it, it's going to keep me in YouTube's algorithm for people to see. And I need this one, just like I need every live hit. Hit that like button. Tap, 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 tap. And for all of y'all on TikTok, hit that screen. Hit that screen, y'all. But I got a strong feeling about this. And the last time I said something about Jamal Bryant, and I'm talking to you Negroes over on Facebook. I told you, when I get in my element, it gets kind of hard and it gets kind of bad for a lot of people because I don't come out my element. And my element is this 24/7. Some people know how to get behind the screen and throw a show. No, I throw a life because the same way I am behind the screen, I am off the screen. I might be a little worse off the screen. But however, for the people that was on Facebook, and y'all know who y'all are, they was, oh, why are you going after Jamal? Jamal Bryant is from the city. You from the city. Y'all know each other. Y'all boys. But you also saw me stop people that was trying to throw Jamal Bryant name in the dirt. No. The way we do is when brothers fight, we can fight. But no outsiders can fight this fight. However, this fight, I'm going to say what I got to say, but others are going to fight that fight too because of what was done. So before we get into that, we got to talk a little bit of KELLS, y'all. You got to talk a little bit of KELLS. And with that KELLS, I'm going to read a little bit of what's really going on. Well, this came out a couple days ago, and it's Robert Sylvester Kelly, plaintiff versus United States of America, BOP, Officer Tawana F. Ingram, unknown John and Jane Doe, BOP officers, and Latasha Kebe, known as Tasha K. I got another name for her, but I'll leave it right there. United States motion to dismiss for failure to prosecute. Hold on, y'all. United States motion to dismiss for failure to prosecute. Let's read this. Defendant, the United States of America by Andrew S. Boutros, United States Attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, moves to dismiss this lawsuit under Rule 41B for failure to prosecute and in support states as follows. 1. Plaintiff has failed to prosecute this lawsuit since October 2024, when the United States served discovery requests to which plaintiff has never responded. More recently, in July 2025, the court dismissed the case after plaintiff repeatedly failed to comply with its directives to file status reports, docket number 55. Number 3. Plaintiff moved to vacate the dismissal, docket 57, pleading that illness had prevented counsel from complying with the court's most recent status report deadline. The court granted the motion, vacated the dismissal, and set a fact discovery deadline for December the 31st, 2025. Docket number 60. With a fact discovery deadline in place, the undersigned AUSA emailed plaintiff's counsel within 15 minutes of the entry of the court's July the 18th reinstatement order, asking for a date by which plaintiff would respond to the United States discovery request, which recall were served in October 2024. Plaintiff's counsel did not respond. The undersigned AUSA emailed again 2 weeks later on August 1st, asking again for a date by which plaintiff would respond to the discovery request. This time, plaintiff's counsel responded by proposing a phone call the following week. The undersigned AUSA responded that he would be on leave through August the 15th and proposed a call for August the 18th or 19th. Plaintiff's counsel did not respond. On August 18th, After returning from leave, the undersigned AUSA followed up on a request for a phone meeting. 1 week later, plaintiff's counsel has still not responded. Hold on, Bo. What the hell you got going on? What, I don't want to. That's 12. The non-responses follow a pattern that began nearly as soon as plaintiff's current counsel began representing him in this case. What did I tell y'all? And I'm going to read it again. The non-responses follow a pattern that began nearly as soon as plaintiff's current counsel began representing him in this case. The undersigned AUSA initially emailed plaintiff's then newly retained counsel on May the 13th and proposed an introductory call, but plaintiff's counsel never responded. The undersigned AUSA followed up on May the 29th, but plaintiff's counsel never responded to that email either. 13. Attorneys should not have to beg and plead for responses to simple inquiries. Plaintiff and his counsel have not exhibited their lack of interest in pressing this case since October 2024 by not responding to a single discovery request, not complying with the court's orders, and almost never responding to simple emails from counsel. 14. The court should accordingly dismiss this case for failure to prosecute. Federal CIVP 41B. Court may dismiss case if plaintiff fails to prosecute. Link versus Wabash case law. Court's authority to dismiss the plaintiff's failure to prosecute cannot seriously be doubted. 15. Although the court ordinarily should not dismiss for failure to prosecute without first providing an explicit warning. Sheriff versus Wellness case law. Plaintiff has already received such a warning here when the court first threatened to dismiss the case for failure to prosecute earlier this summer, docket 54. 16. Dismissal is warranted here because there is seemingly nothing that will make plaintiff and his counsel prosecute this case. Even the near dismissal in July has not changed the tenor. 11 months after the United States served its discovery request, plaintiff has not responded to a single request or even represented when or if responses will come, despite repeated prodding from defense counsel. Such extreme dilatory conduct should not be rewarded, and dismissal would send an appropriate message to plaintiff's bar that a case cannot simply be ignored until counsel feels like working on it. Washington versus Walker case law. Rule 41B serves not only to protect defendants, but also to aid courts in keeping administrative control over their own dockets and to deter other litigants from engaging in similar dilatory behavior. The court has enormous discretion in dismissing for failure to prosecute, and it should exercise the discretion here. Lacasigo versus Teletype case law. Appellate court will not disturb dismissal for want of prosecution unless it is clear that no reasonable person could concur in the trial court's assessment of the issue. Wherefore, the court should dismiss this case for failure to prosecute. Respectfully submitted, Andrew S. Boutros. I have a problem. And the problem that I have is simply this. Hold on. Let me see something. I think I did this already. Okay. I already talked about that one. But the problem that I have is this right here. People sit back and run and tell you stories and say they can do this and they can do that. But when it's time to put up or shut up, Hold on, I'm looking at something real quick. Hold on. So not only did the motion by defendant, United States of America, to dismiss for lack of prosecution was entered. Hold on, let me make sure it's the same one. Yeah, the same one I just read. But the judge have entered something in too. And there's a notice of motion by Alex H. Hertzler for presentment of motion to dismiss lack of prosecution, 61 before Honorable Bucklow. That was entered as well. Ooh. So people will sit back and tell you they can do this and they can do that for you. When they see an opportunity. And I want y'all to follow me on this thing. For the people that came in late, shout out to everybody that's there on all the platforms. How y'all doing? This is a serious subject, so I'm gonna jump on this before I wear Jamal Bryant out. People will say that they can do this and they can do that when they see an opportunity. When they see the opportunity, right? When they see the opportunity, and the opportunity have to benefit them. Now, as I talk to Kip, and Kip is my bro, he shared the same sentiment that I share. Bo Brindley was not interested in helping R. Kelly at first. What changed? That was my question. Him and Bon Jean couldn't get along. The question was it that they couldn't get along? Or was it that Bon Jean didn't follow the BS that Bo Brindley was trying to present at the time? Not saying that Bo Brindley not a good lawyer, because he is. However, when I look at everybody involved behind the scenes, and I'm not going to call names right now, I have to question everything involved. Keith, I said I wasn't going to do it. The now power of attorney has disappeared. I want y'all to follow me. Bo Brindley is coming in to help Robert all of a sudden, right? Daryl McDavid's son is on Bo Brindley lawyer staff. Who benefits from this? What was requested for the services of Bo Brindley? Because Jennifer Bon Jean was about to knock it out the park. But when people were saying, oh, I can get you out, I know I can do this, I know I can do that. Well, Bon Jean, do my civil stuff and let's let Bo handle this. Bo brought you through the door with a certain content creator, videos and things that's going on. But something had to happen, because now we're looking at a stalemate. And for the people that gets on the internet that want to say, oh, I don't like this lawyer, I don't like that lawyer. Well, guess what, goddammit? Bo Brindley stalemated at the threshold. Jennifer Bon Jean ain't never do that. Jennifer Bon Jean went all the way through. The question is, and I'm just going to ask this question, Keith, did you ghost them so that way you wouldn't have to give up power of attorney to Daryl McDavid? So now Bo Brindley don't want to help Robert because Daryl McDavid is left in the open. Who was promised what? And I said it from the jump. This has been a Chicago setup from day one. This has been a Chicago setup from day one. All you niggas didn't want to work. Y'all act like the new females. Oh, if Robert make a new album, then I can get Robert to pay for some shoes for me. Maybe if I carry Robert DJ stuff, I can get Robert to pay my rent. Y'all prayed on a man downfall that can't read, write, and now can't defend himself. He put his truth out there only to be deserted by the people he trusted. Robert, if you listening, stop trusting all the motherfuckers. Leave the Chicago people alone, Robert, and get the hell away. Stop trusting the old folks that mean you no good. Because if you stole from Robert once, you'll steal again. For the people that owe Robert money, but opening restaurants and cigar shops, why don't you put that on his books? See, people don't want to talk about the real stuff. That man has now been deserted, sitting in jail, and don't have no direction on which way to go. Why? Because the people that said, I can free you, deserted you. Because they didn't get what they wanted out of this so-called deal. Now watch this. If Bo Brinley jumps back in like nothing never happened, somebody palms got greased. And I'm going to go here and say this. I said I wasn't going to say it, but Don Russell, don't you ever play with me again. June Barrett, don't you ever play with me again. I will expose your old ass to no end. You think I did it before? This time I will walk the dog all the way through, baby. I don't have nothing to do with your pedophile shit, Don Russell. So the little girl, Mia, that you're trying to hold captive, give her back to her mother after you deliver the baby, nigga. I want that smoke. And here's another thing I'm going to say. All you niggas that claim y'all for KELS and y'all knew Don Russell was doing whatever and he still walking the street, y'all shouldn't even say nothing. Y'all shouldn't say nothing. All of y'all piece of shit. I said it. And you know, I don't waver from nothing. Because anything I say here, you know I say it in your face. I've done it. So don't send no more messages. Mia, mama trying to find her daughter. I gave her the intel on where to look. The intel led to you, Don Russell. But now I'm the problem. You have a history of underage chicks. Not Robert, you. But when the feds picked you up, everything has turned on to Robert. And then you did 2 videos dogging Robert because he couldn't defend himself. So while your pissy ass mama over there sitting in the abandoned motherfucking building, why don't you tell your pissy ass mama to stop frauding like she's something and get off her ass and work for something? Now tell your mama to tell Robert that, and I'll wait for a slap so I can slap you, nigga. Nothing don't change with me. Nothing. As you see the top, I never surrender. Especially when I got all of y'all by the balls. So all these phantom phone calls, oh, Dana J, can you not say this name? Oh, Dana J, can you not say this name? Oh my God, if Robert hear this name out in public, I'm gonna get in trouble. Well, guess what? Do what y'all gotta do by Robert, and then maybe I won't say the name. Maybe if you do right by this man, maybe I won't say your name. Can we do that deal? If y'all do right by Robert, I won't say your name. I'll give you one better. I carry your dirt to the grave. After I just show Robert everything that y'all done. Now, what he do from that is on him. So ask yourself this question. Who benefits more if Robert never comes home? I believe I asked that question 5 years ago. I believe I asked that question 5 years ago. This have nothing to do with public announcement. Public announcement has moved on. All four of them, all four different factions of public announcement has moved on. The old public announcement that robbing them are not even called public announcement no more, but they call unking them. And they doing their thing. But I have a question. Daryl McDavid, why? No. I don't want to ask that one yet. Daryl McDavid, what was the kiss on the cheek in court about when y'all was found not guilty? See, I believe in parables and I read signs. And I know God do signs and wonders, but he also opened up our eyes to the reality of the bullshit. So when you kiss Robert on the cheek in court and they let you get that close, but when June Brown was trying to get close, they made it a whole big spectacle so June couldn't get close to Robert. What was that about? And now, Bo Brinley is ghost. Which makes me have to call out the hidden hand. So before the war starts again, I have to figure out what role is this hidden hand playing? Because my videos was sent to you, Bo. You was instructed by the hidden hand not to talk to me. You think I didn't know, huh? That's why I came out and said, don't use my videos. If you can't respectfully talk to me and I break down my videos, don't use my videos because you're going to misrepresent my videos. That's my content, baby. I worked hard to bring that forth. Not you. You was just trying to use it. You was just trying to use it. And I don't mind you using it if it's going to free R. Kelly. It just so happened that you want to pick and choose instead of killing a snake at the head. You want to try to chop the body, then the tail, then go to the head. No. The way you kill a snake is you chop the head off first. You let the body dangle. Then you chop the body at leisure. With no head, the body can't motion. It'll twitch, but it won't motion. So Bo Burnley, now that Don Russell's out, now that Don hate Daryl McDavid and don't know him, but I'm starting to see old patterns of things before Don Russell went to jail. Now that he's home, now intellectual property is popping up on eBay again. The WhatsApp calls of people perpetrating to be R. Kelly to get money has started again. Ironically, for 2 years it disappeared. But then after the 2 years, it reemerged again. I get it. Are you part of the RK enterprise that Robert knew nothing about? And Don told us, everybody can't get jammed up, because if everybody get jammed up, the mission over. But if one of us get jammed up, the others know where it's at. So hold on. When you come home, Santee get locked up. Wasn't Santee part of that mission, Don? You, Keith, your mama, and Santee. That was the 4 horsemen, right? I'm about to make some calls. And I'm going to say this. Things ain't looking right. And when things don't look right, I'm going to sound the alarm. Y'all played with this man long enough. And what y'all want is for people to stop talking about it so y'all can continue getting monetary gains. It's ironic, Bo, that you stopped answering the feds when Robert royalty check just hit 2 weeks ago. Which means that if this case get thrown out now, anytime Robert wants to bring it back, he will get looked at and possibly denied because of the actions of the other counsel, which means you. That's not cool. Under no circumstance. And for people to sit back and say, Chicago loves R. Kelly, bullcrap. Y'all don't. There's pockets of people in Chicago that love R. Kelly. The rest of y'all hate him. The rest of y'all look at him as a meal ticket. Dana, how you know that? Because there could not have been a George Floyd march in Chicago as big as it was, and y'all didn't have a R. Kelly march as big as it was. It took me to come from Atlanta to do 2 rallies just for an idiot and a plum bucket to jump on and try to duplicate what I did. Make it make sense. In my Keith Sweat voice, who was doing rallies in Chicago before DanaJay? Nobody. I gave the blueprint and laughed about it because they tried to upscale me. And it's never been about me. It was about Robert. But for them, it was about buses with stripper poles on them, sleeping with R. Kelly fans, trying to get money and trying to sell Walmart clothes and trying to get notoriety and happy because they made it on the Shade Room. point, I am not dealing with the fakeness and the BS that came with that. Because everybody was asking, well, Dana, why don't you go support them? Why should I? Every rally I did had God in it. I can't entertain that darkness. People got saved at the rally that I did. People's sons came home and doing well. We went to the MCC and the inmates was going crazy. But nobody got beat up. Nothing got shut down. Nobody got lied on. Nah. The warden actually gave compliments of how well those two rallies were. We didn't go up grabbing doors talking about bring them down and we're going to do a welfare check. So homeless idiots can now go to a maximum facility and grab the doors and shake the doors and demand for a prisoner to come down so they can see him. Boy. Y'all got me going crazy. If that's the case, everybody need to do it. That's the stupidity that was shown. So why would I jump back out there and do it? So that way people can associate me and what I was doing with the stupidity. No. The first two was epic. Everything else was a fail. One day you'll catch it. The first two rallies were epic. The others were a fail. The first two went viral. Shout out to Trick Daddy and his platform. The others made the shade room. What up, WD? I see you. So at the end of the day, what's going on with R. Kelly is bogus and is wrong. And I wish I was a bar lawyer, because I would take his case and destroy everything the government would ever bring. But that's okay. Stay tight. I got another secret up my sleeve. And like I said, if Rob was the type of person to do it, I would ask him to release the list of all the unsolicited co-conspirators that went down to the feds and lied on him. Like LIL. Well, I'm going to call you out. That's all you got to do is look at this. Every time the feds closed in, she got sick. But when the feds backed up, she was well again. Crazy. So with that being said, Bo Brinley, you need to answer what's going on, and you need to have a good answer so the feds won't shut this case down. If not, what happened to Robert will happen to a lot of other people. And that's why I have no faith in the justice system. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it don't. But the only person I have faith in is God. So with that being said, Robert, we now know that R. Kelly would have been had a pardon, but nobody filled out the paperwork to send into the office of the White House. I wonder why. And let's go here. I pre-filled out the form. and sent it out. Bo Brindley got it. Why wasn't it presented? So when Bo Brindley was talking about, oh yeah, we working with Trump's team. Where do you think it came from? And then you got people asking me, well, Dana, R. Kelly is your guy. Why we didn't get the packet? I don't like answering questions like that, because my response will be, I don't know. I haven't talked to Bo. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So at the end of the day, watch the people that jump on the internet to talk about, oh, I'm doing this to get R. Kelly free. Are you really doing it? And the three people in particular, I ain't gonna say no names. I'm gonna let y'all watch. And I'm gonna just sit in the shadows. And when it get too hectic, I'm gonna come out and defend y'all. With that being said, R. Kelly, stand up. Never waver. You're too strong for that. God loves you. So do I. And you have many fans outside of Chicago that will love you more than what Chicago could ever have done. And while I'm speaking on Chicago, I'm going to say this. Reverend, didn't you say if you made it into office, you would destroy the law that Kim Fox and them put in place to get R. Kelly on some old non-true stuff? Why haven't you did that yet? And you've been there for 2.5 years. Sometimes people need to think. Anywho, I want to talk about Jamal Bryant. Jamal Bryant. Let's give a background. Jamal Bryant is a good friend of mine. And my thing is this. If your friend or your brother can't call you out when you blatantly wrong, then who can? And are you really friends? So for the people on Facebook, and I see y'all, I'm sitting here watching. What up, Rob? I'm sitting here watching. And I'm looking at y'all jump in the chat and jump out and all this. That's cool. I'm going to say this. Thank you so much, WD. Just showing some love, even though I want to burn a hat. No. Can't burn my hat. Okay. So Jamal Bryant is a good guy sometimes. Right? And as you know, I'm saying sometimes. Because sometimes Jamal can be iffy. What do I mean? Jamal Bryant is supposed to be a person from the hood that's supposed to defend so-called black people. Y'all know what I told y'all about black people. But for today's purpose, we're going to use the word black people. I'm going to say colored, because I've never seen a black person before. So, hey, Island Beauty. So with that being said, Jamal Bryant has launched an attack on the president of the United States and the rival to the people he rock with, named Tarjay. Some people say Target, but it's Tarjay. And many people say, well, Dana, you from Baltimore. Jamal from Baltimore. Y'all cool. I seen y'all hang out before. I seen y'all do that. I seen y'all do that. So because you seen that, am I wrong for calling out a friend of mine who called out the president and a rival company in Tarjay and lied to God's people? Now, hold on. Now we're getting deep with it. All of you pastors in Baltimore who ain't saying nothing, I'm going to question your authenticity. I'm going to question your authenticity because you can't say you for the kingdom of God and don't call out the bull crap that goes against the kingdom of God. So you can't be political, and then when the political people respond, then you want to be churchy. No. If you churchy and political, be churchy political. But understand this, just like you want people to respect your opinion, Jamal, you need to respect other people's facts. So let's start here. Let's go down memory lane for Jamal. Remember you said this, Jamal?
When the Republican Party of Georgia moved Herschel Walker from Texas to Georgia so that he could run for Senate, it's because change was taking too fast in the post-antebellum South. The state had been flipped blue, and there are some principalities that were not prepared for a black man and a Jewish man to go to Senate at the exact same time. So they figured that they would delude us by picking somebody who they thought would in fact represent us better with a football than with a degree in philosophy. They thought we were so slow, that we were so stupid, that we would elect the lowest caricature of a stereotypical broken black man as opposed to somebody who is educated and erudite and focused. Y'all ain't ready for me today. Since Herschel Walker was 16 years old, white men been telling him what to do, telling him what school to go to, where to live, where to eat, where to buy a house, where to run, where to sit down, where to sleep, where to pay for abortions, where to buy a gun. And you think they not gonna tell him how to vote? In 2022, we don't need a walker, we need a runner. We need somebody who gonna run and tell the truth about January 6th. We need somebody who gonna run and push for the cancellation of student loan debts. We need somebody who gonna run and make the former president respond to a subpoena. We don't need a walker, we need somebody who will be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding, knowing that your labor is not in vain. Georgia, I need you to know the slave Negroes y'all are used to don't live here no more. We can think for ourselves, function for ourselves, and vote for ourselves. Why? Because we don't need a walker. Ladies and gentlemen, when the...
I'm glad you said that, Jamal. Because since you were born, and this gonna cut deep, a white man, which there is no such thing as a white man because white and black are shades, not colors. But a Caucasian man has been telling your black ass how to live. When you went to go pledge Kappa, the candy cane boys, that's what they call them on the yard. It was a white man that started that. And that gave the approval. And it's a Caucasian man that gives an approval for it to happen on their school board. Wait a minute, let's go here, Jamal. For the people that don't know, the HBCUs were created to make fun and to exploit the colored people. By who? A Caucasian man. So what are you saying, Jamal? You attacked Herschel Walker, which you call a black man. But then you get up on a pulpit and say, I'm for all black people. So instead of attacking Herschel Walker, why didn't you place a call and talk to Herschel Walker? But you wanted to make it a spectacle. Why? Because you was deeming and you were running for the harlot witch from India, Kamala Harris. Oh, we're going to get to that. And we're going to get to that. So let's fast forward a little bit and we're going to dance and we're going to skip and we're going to hop a little bit. We got a pastor. Now, remember, I showed y'all what a house nigga that's being stringed along by the boule will do to your own kind. And this is why I call him a false prophet. Because he's destroying the colored race from within. Watch what I tell you. See, I do what Jamal won't do. And I'm going to show it. Let's go here. The pastor leading Target boycott on his impact and retailers' response. Let's go.
The big box retailer Target is reeling. Sales have stalled, stock price has plunged, and the company faces growing backlash months after rolling back its diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, initiatives. A boycott led by our next guest slowed store traffic nationwide and is among the factors that pushed longtime CEO Brian Cornell to step down after 11 years. Now, Target is scrambling to reset its image and strategy. We're joined now by Pastor Jamal Bryant of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Georgia, who spearheaded that boycott. Pastor Jamal Bryant, thank you for being with us.
My privilege. Thank you.
What up, Joe?
Before we get your reaction to the change in leadership at Target, I do want to ask, why focus on Target when a number of retailers and corporations from Walmart to McDonald's have rolled back their DEI initiatives? Why single out Target when this appears to be a broader corporate retreat?
Good question.
After the inauguration of President Trump, 23 corporations backtracked away from diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we thought it prudent to just go after one at a time. The African American community spends upwards of $12 million a day at Target. And so we thought that the one that was the most trafficked should be the focus of our media attention.
Do you see this?
Pause for a second. He keeps saying we. Who is we? I keep telling you, the puppet is being controlled. And the people that's showing up is the people from New Birth. There's no people from the streets jumping out there. It's the people from New Birth. So therefore, just watch what I tell you. And he said, we thought, because black people spend $12 million. Well, if black people spend $12 million at Target, how many people or how much money is spent at Walmart? But the reason why he won't go after Walmart is because Walmart controls most of the Democratic Party. Walmart pays its people, but Walmart is also killing I can't say what I want to say. I almost said something else. Walmart is unaliving. Let's go there. The colored
people race. Let's listen.
Stepping down of Target's longtime CEO is a direct result of your campaign, and what do you expect from the company's new leadership?
The reality is it's not stepping down, it's stepping aside. He's being replaced by the COO, and he is now moved upwards as the chair of the board.
So wait. So y'all did all this just for him to step aside and move up. What do you think he's about to do to y'all now? Now that he's over top of where you was trying to achieve. Oh boy.
Really rewarding of bad behavior. We're really disappointed, but we hoped and we are hopeful that there'll be a change of perspective when it comes to DEI for the company.
It's striking that Target hasn't reinstated its DEI program, even as it struggles with declining sales, sluggish foot traffic. What does that tell you about the current climate and how corporations are valuing diversity today when faced with the political pressure?
I think that diversity is in as much danger as democracy is. The president of Target, as well as Walmart and Amazon, met with the president back in February. And I think that they have held on to his admonishment more than what the consumers are clamoring to say. And so I think it's unfortunate that it has to go this far and this long.
I reached out to Target ahead of this conversation, and while the outgoing CEO wasn't made available, the company pointed us to his recent op-ed where he highlights Target's $2 billion investment in Black-owned businesses, more than doubling the number of Black-owned brands on its shelves, supporting more than 500 entrepreneurs, completing a $100 million investment in Black-led community organizations. Why do you see those efforts as insufficient?
I think it's insufficient because they produce no receipts. $2 billion, and yet they have not been forthcoming as to what entities were the recipients of it. We asked them to lay out where did they make the investment. They said because of privacy, they couldn't release it.
So I got a question. Jamal Bryant is asking for receipts of who's donating to these corporations. Here's the question. Who are you, Jamal, and to ask for receipts? And for the people on Facebook, I'm going to go here, just like I'm tagging Jamal. I tag Jamal in everything I say, and Jamal don't respond. That's the same reaction he's giving me. Oh, Dana, who are you? And you know me in person. Yeah, but I can't talk to you in person because you hide behind your security guards at New Birth. Let's go.
We'd love to put a ribbon on it. But if Black companies or Black banks were the recipients, they will be clamoring to announce it. And yet we're in silence of the lambs. Nobody can attest to the graciousness that they are claiming to represent.
Why, in your view, does Target owe Black Americans anything beyond what it already provides as a public company that employs and serves millions of Americans of all races?
It is one of the lead employers of African Americans. They are the beneficiaries of African American consumption. When George Floyd died, we didn't protest, we didn't march, didn't boycott. Out of their own will, they made the pledge of $2 billion. And then it stalemated. It was supposed to be turned over to us July 31st, and we're still not seeing anything. We are reasonable and amenable to a meeting to be able to see it in private, but none of those requests have been responded to.
Question, who's us? Because Jamal Bryant, you don't speak for me. You speak for the African American community. That's why the Africans hate the colored people, because we, and I'm going to say we because I'm colored, we don't know who we are. Because a lot of us are not African. If you do your ancestral trace, it's going to come back from an Indian tribe, not an African tribe. And Jamal got the high scholar degree from Morehouse. Do I need to say any more? Let's go.
What's the end game if Target does not meet your requests?
Then they will continue to hemorrhage. And I think with 9.7% of foot traffic being slowed down, online sales being slowed down, the stock continuing to plummet, the valuation has dropped by $12 billion. That I think that it's time now for the shareholders to make their voice clear on what is needed and necessary. The Montgomery bus boycott went for a year and a day, and this is just our 5th month. And so I think it would be advantageous of them to meet and see how it is that we can reconcile so that the company can go forward and so that the community can continue to rise.
Pause. You've referenced the Montgomery bus boycott. The Montgomery bus boycott was directly affecting the colored community. What Target chose to roll back doesn't affect the colored community. But what you're doing and spearheading has affected the colored community. Now, y'all think I'm lying. Watch this. Let's finish this.
You know, given the parallel you raised to the Montgomery bus boycott, given the impact of this boycott in influencing a major corporation, how do you see yourself leveraging this kind of organizing power on other issues?
Well, this is the first real organizing power of Black economic strength in 70 years. And I think a lot of corporations are sitting back waiting to see what will be the outcome. And that's why this is so critical and so important.
And I'm going to go here. This is when he had church service at Target parking lot. This is his church. This is not the community. Let's go.
Important. And this generation, quite frankly, needs a victory to know that our collective works are not in vain, but can really make an impact and make a difference.
Pastor Jamal Bryant, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
I'm grateful. Thank you, sir.
Now, here's the crazy part to this. Y'all would think Jamal Bryant went out in the public and talked to the people that worked at Target. Wouldn't you? If you think Jamal Bryant talked to the people that worked at Target that's being affected by what he's doing, put hell yeah in the chat. If y'all think Jamal Bryant spoke to the people that worked or that works at Target, say hell yeah. If you think Jamal Bryant had a meeting with those people to organize what he had going on, put hell yeah in the chat. You know what I mean? Willie said it the best. I ain't been to Africa Boule liquor. That's right. Mama Mary said all his lip service and propaganda, they still don't own nothing, which means you have no power. Facts. So here's what I'm about to say. I did an interview today. One thing about me, I'm in these streets heavy. I did an interview today with one of the top dogs of Target. That's not too far from where my job site is, since that's what spearheaded all this. And what happened was people got hired as seasonal workers. And I'm going to put it out there, niggas. Got hired as seasonal workers. They was making good currency from Target. When the season was over, they got fired or they got let go. Before they got let go, about a week before, they were sent a letter, you're going to be let go on such and such date, but the season over, come back next season. They called the news and they made a stint and said that Target is firing all the black people. Jamal Bryant jumped on it and ran with it since. But pause. I went and got somebody from the inside. And the interview goes a little something like this. Hey, y'all, I got my partner here. We talking about the Target situation with the half and half and how Jamal messed up everything for the colored community, aka the black community. State your name for me, brother.
I have to go by Eddie's name. So
Okay.
That being said, we take all right. You know, my name is Poontang Simpson.
Okay, Poontang Simpson. Because he can't give you his real name because, you know, for certain reasons that I'm not going to disclose. All right. So talk about how it all happened at Target. But let's take it from the beginning as far as like the layoffs and like doing the seasonal work. What happened with that?
With that being said, to speed it up, is that once the seasonal got laid off, it was approximately of last year, this time, pretty much in December, as it's considered as being seasonal. It was not communicated with clearly understanding how it went about. With that being said, the individual that was laid off prior due to the holidays, there was release of employment prior to the announcement of them. What's the word again? The being
seasonal work.
The seasonal work, but the word I'm looking for is what the shit you just told me.
DEI.
The DEI thing. Okay, it was assumed that was the reason, or one of the reasons why the layoffs had came about.
That's what Jamal Bryant said.
That's what Jamal said.
Right.
So when that came in effect, it did a domino effect to where it affected a lot of employees, because now it's a heated moment on both behalves, Jamal and Target as well too. So with that being happened, Target sales immediately dropped. Mm-hmm. And then at the times that we weren't getting our proper hours that we was expecting.
Right.
Raises. So in other words, it just affected all our pockets in the whole 9 yards. So
that's after it hit in the news media after.
When the news media got involved with it. See, on both sides, it's a point of communication to get an understanding what was really happening. The downsides of it is that once they agreed to this DEI, mm-hmm. it continuously to do the downfall of a conception of non-communication of assumption that they really were putting this in effect. So by them doing that, and the fire was constantly boiling, right, rising from your Jamal, they pursued to lay off individuals, which just clearly happened of this year, and they laid out a high number of blacks that of yesterday, I'm gonna say last month as well too.
Right, but then they kept the. Is it true that they kept?
Very much, I know. Yeah,
but they kept the LGBTQs via DEI.
The LGBTQ coming in about is that it's two-part of a question that's on the application. I have studied that, and I have witnessed, and I have did it to where description of what your gender is and what's your preference of your sex, it is applied on their application. Okay. So my thing is that I applied for certain positions without, I'm straight, and the other one I made a mark to where yes, heterosexual, the case may be. And this is honest, I have it on email as well too. I got more response once I indicated that I'm gay. In other words. Nevertheless, of me not saying that I'm gay,
you ain't really getting that.
I can show you emails to where I got where unfortunately we're not hired for this position.
Right.
We gonna move forward with other candidates. Coming into the door of Target that's gonna be down in Hampton, you will see that the management, HR, all positions that's required of management is employed by yours truly. The gay community.
The gay community, yeah.
And it's witnessed throughout the warehouse. This is not me, it's witnessed through the warehouse, because as I stated that we was planning for position that was opened up. We was promised, it's a great place to be, you have opportunities here. Yeah. But that never did materialize. Absolutely.
So is it safe to say that Jamal Bryant advocating for the DEI?
At the time, I wish he would have shut his mouth. That's for my opinion. And happens gonna happen.
Right.
Don't fault other people of their decision because other people were suffering.
Right.
Anyway, but when you added that fire on top of fire, he should have came and got more detailed about it.
And found out what was going on.
Yeah, he generated that basically off an assumption. There it goes again, because it was more to that movement of the DEI and things like of that nature right there.
Right.
So understand that I doubt very seriously that he came and talked to us directly.
Right.
Or any other target that's around him. I assume that he did not, because if he did, I clearly would have heard of repercussions from that. I'm pretty sure we would have. Oh, we're gonna do this, that. This is what I heard. He did that. He did it by assumption of an announcement of the DEI, and he went from there. He should have a stronger foundation of what really was going on with the employees there. We come first.
Right.
And if you're gonna do something that's gonna benefit your bad, but it's gonna destroy us, in other words, I feel that totally, because I'm one of them victims, that was laid off prior to that.
Right. So so I guess the whole thing is he claimed that Jamal Bryant claimed that he was in benefit of the black people, but technically it was in benefit of the gay people.
Precisely.
So all of this happened, and because of a seasonal position, right?
They made their decision to announce it, and that they was going to abide by this. So with that being said, the seasonal position came into effect to where it was explained, but misconception applied to it.
Okay.
So once they announced the DEI thing nationally, it did the domino effect.
Right.
Now, seasonal applies to everybody in there. That's correct.
So let's talk about that. How did that work?
How did that work? You work so many days. For September, the peak season.
The peak time.
Shit like that, yeah.
Holiday time.
Holiday time, exactly. We all know that after Christmas, everything pretty much for business, warehouse.
So you get laid off after that.
You would get laid off.
Right.
That. With that being said, if seasonal was going to be, and I hate to put it like this, the slave drivers,
right,
the non-management people,
right,
it affected them harder because while we getting laid off, but we got HR, some of them in that seasonal as well.
So watch this. So the seasonal people were hired to be seasonal, and then when their season was over, they got terminated, and they went public to the news and say, but they got wrongly fired, mostly the ignorant black people, and Jamal Bryant jumped on that firestorm, and because he thought that it was black people being fired, and when technically they were nothing but seasonal workers.
Precisely.
Which in turn messes up all of y'all paycheck, people that been there for years.
The firestorm, they retaliate.
So I think Jamal Bryant and New Birth should pay all of y'all severance packages. Everybody that lost their job due to Jamal Bryant's mismanagement, I think New Birth and Jamal Bryant and should pay for all of y'all lost wages and everything.
I mean, that'd be nice, but that'd be absolutely not, because it's a misconception in there. He totally, misconcepted the whole background of this situation right here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that if he would have talked to individuals that was in the midst of it and what was going on, the one that was still quote unquote employed there,
right,
he could have had a better
understanding
what is going on there. He basically his decision on what he saw, but what he saw was just pretty much an illusion. It was not detailed, and he went off his opinion instead of facts. We are entitled to our opinions, I get that, but when it comes down to facts that's gonna harm other individuals upon your opinion, that's pretty much a no-no right there. You shouldn't have did that at all. I honestly believe that. Now, you have your right to say what you want to say, but it's going to be consequences behind that as well. And that's unfortunately what happened to individuals as myself, that one, I'm right all of a sudden, and this is my opinion, this was going on, should have been detailed to where it would be extremely all facts based off information that was given to you. Then we could approach it the right way instead of going to an illusion of the back doing things of that nature right there. So yes, I totally agree. I apologize to everybody too. That's going through.
Yeah, I think he needs to apologize. Yeah.
Really just raised the Georgia rate of unemployment again. And we was at a low.
All behind a misconception.
Misconception of the ones that, you understand, the target warehouse that I'm speaking of in general is basically a trial run.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
if they granted, consists to where it's opportunity. You gotta look at the blacks that looked at that. You gotta look at the blacks that may not ever have a job, and they get this job all of a sudden, especially down in the area that it's located, because you have very much low employment down there. I'm sorry, it is.
And Jamal Bryant
he had exactly.
And you have never seen him down there, have you?
Hell no, I never seen him. Never seen him, Jamal Bryant. No, hell no. For what? No, he don't come down. He never did.
But he want to boycott a Target.
How you gonna boycott a Target over there?
But he want to boycott people from buying from Target, but he's not boycotting Walmart.
You taking food out of people's table.
Right.
And Walmart has plenty of lawsuits. I'm not gonna disclose that. They have it every day.
But let's talk about the rotten food by certain people.
I can go all day long.
And Jamal Bryant ain't saying nothing about that.
Because that's $1 billion. That's more than that's trillions of dollars.
No, but that's also the Democratic Party's funding too.
Precisely.
So if you were standing in front
of to benefit his pocket,
that's a good question. Is he doing it to benefit his pocket, or is he doing it because he really cared?
We want to know.
Because we all know he don't care about the so-called black people. So
if you care, put it like this: if you care about something, you'll be a president.
Right.
I don't know if you care about a mix of your words.
So he's fighting more for the Democratic Party and the LGBTQ community. That's who he's fighting for. And it kills me how you want to be protruded to be straight, or what you fighting for the gay community. So if Jamal was sitting right here, what would you tell Jamal Bryant to his face?
Basically, in facts, give you detail upon your decision upon exploding to Target as you did. And I was going to have a conversation with him of the yays and nays.
Mm-hmm.
Where they happen or where it don't happen down there. Then, we possibly could have went, all of us as a unit, and went to, what was the fight for, because the fight is going to have an outcome out of it.
Right.
You going to war by yourself, you can't win a war by yourself. I'm sorry.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my take on it. Jamal Bryant is the front man for the Boule, and the Boule is pushing millions and millions of dollars and behind him and his project, which triggers me, because is he fighting for a political arena? Because mind you, we have had murders at Walmart down here. Jamal Bryant won't show up, but he wants you to boycott Target, but he won't speak on Walmart or Sam's.
Just like you stated, won't show up. If he was going to go about something, as I remember, as I was yesterday's civil rights leader, the Kings and the JAMAL and so on and so on, they showed up at, as we call it, a venue and demonstrated what their opinion was, and therefore they did it as a unit with facts of why are we doing this, and let's bring it up to what's right and what's wrong. You consider things to be right, but you have a definition of what's wrong. That's totally what goes on. Again, he made his decision upon opinions, which would be clear to himself. I doubt very seriously that he ever talked to anyone of any sort that was down at this Target, period. If he would have did that and got more detail, maybe these individuals not be in the situation they're in. That's the fact right there. Because it's 4,000 that's unemployed right now. So
all behind his damn statute fetching and position.
That played a big part of it, because now it's going to be considered as retaliation, but nevertheless, they would not show anything of that nature. It was just Georgia's free will state. You just won. Now, you can change that law, Mr. Jamal Bryant. That'd be awesome, but we're the free will state.
But he's not going to do that.
He's not going to do that. I mean, he's clearly understand.
Because the Democratic Party passed that down here.
Yeah, there you go. It's going to be pocketed. Why is
And
that
the way
a
he's
thing
running
when
with
we
it.
cry about, I wish we fight for all Georgians' jobs. We got to know you do not, you know, because that's a clear example of what goes on behind these closed doors. Yeah, we can sit and chat, look big, you know what I'm saying, in front of the camera, but we are so wimpy when we're behind doors. Yeah, it's madness, it's sickness. It's things to high heaven. And if I had to come about and speak individually about this, I will. Then I release my name.
Right.
Because I really got some things to say. The more that we really talk about this political thing and how it's going about, because your political decision is political, taking bread and food off these political people that you so-called politically fighting for.
Right.
Politically, absolutely wrong. I'm gonna say this. It's bull crap. And yes, I would sit on the front with him and ask these general questions respectfully and with facts. We can talk about opinions all day long, but let's discuss facts.
Let's do facts, right? Well, I thank you
thank you, man, for your time.
I thank you for joining for your time.
Concerned, anything like that, man.
Yes,
Being
sir.
concerned, man. Be for the people. Not.
Oh, you know I am.
I know you are.
I'm the voice of the streets, so
right.
that's how I look at it. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right. So when people ask me, Dana, what's your problem? That's my problem. Because when you have people that's good people that loses their job behind an idiot that want to jump from behind a pulpit because the boule is telling him, if you attack TRJ, then Walmart and Sam's can blow up. And then we can give you a piece of the pie. Come on, Jamal. That's not the way it's supposed to go. That's not the way things should be. That's not the way the matter supposed to be, Jamal. That's not the way it's supposed to be. But just when you think it don't get no better, Marcus Rogers confronts Jamal Bryant. Let's hear what this looked like.
He's here, Mr. Rogers. That's insane, actually, because you actually joined us on a previous stream.
Right.
That's insane. Lionel, thank you so much. Marcus Rogers, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Wow. First of all, Marcus, I didn't even know you knew we was having a stream tonight.
I was getting ready to go downstairs. The church is downstairs, and I saw it, so I just clicked and I was watching. So
Well,
I just hopped on real quick.
just so you know, we having everybody come up just asking Pastor Jamal questions here. Did you have a particular question for Pastor Jamal tonight? We're discussing what's going on right now, the aftermath of the election. Is there anything that you would like to ask Pastor Jamal?
Yeah, respectfully, I get the, people will probably want to talk about, well, the abortion.
Shout out to the Harley Initiated podcast. This is their footage, and I'm giving them all their hard work and their footage for this. Check it out.
Abortions thing, the LGBTQ, but I think we've had that conversation so many times. But just Pastor Jamal, from some of the recent stuff I've seen, in the kingdom from a spiritual perspective, you got a lot of men of God and women of God saying one thing, and then it seems like a lot of people in the black church are saying another thing. And so do you really believe that like every white conservative, that supported Trump, is a racist, or it seems like those are kind of the undertones, or they're white supremacists, and that, black people who voted for him are like, Uncle Toms and coons and misinformed, because there's clearly a divide in the kingdom, and somebody's lying on the Holy Spirit. The Bible says, acknowledge God in all your ways, he will direct your path. So I personally feel, Pastor Jamal, if we pray about it, God, his word can't lie. He's going to tell us who to vote for. So I would just be curious about that, because that seems to be the response. Obviously the policy, I don't see how any Christian can vote Democrat, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't think all Republicans are white supremacists. No, I think all black Republicans are coons or sellouts.
You're a lie. That's not what you said. You're a lie.
I personally believe we need people on both sides of the aisle. I disagree, however, on some of the policies that I think are adverse to the African-American community, but I would not make a general sweeping statement. The reality is Dr. King, Frederick Douglass, and so many other civil rights heroes were Republican. So there's no way in the world I could say all Republicans are racist or sellouts.
So if you would weigh the legislation side by side, like you go, obviously the Democrats, you got men in women's bathrooms. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Chicago, Democratic mayor, Atlanta, Democratic mayor, California, Democratic, New York, Democratic. And we've been voting Democrat, but the schools haven't changed. That's why here in Chicago, you know, they've been going hard at the mayor. How is it that they got money, you know what I'm saying, for the migrants? They got credit cards for the migrants. They got all this stuff for the migrants, but not for the Black community. So I don't understand why we go so hard for Democrats. Now, my main argument is that Democrats are turning America into a Sodom and Gomorrah. But I don't understand why, as Black people, we have this loyalty to Democrats. They say, oh, we don't have the money. They got the money for Ukraine. They got the money for everybody else. You know, they say, oh, well, we're going to do this for Black people. They never do it. They do something for the LGBTQ community. They do something for the migrants. So I don't understand why we go so hard for them as Christian Black people when they're not doing nothing for us. They have predominantly all the Black cities, right? The schools are terrible. We got a lot of young Black men can't read, you know, at the appropriate grade level, and it's Democrats who are in charge. So from a spiritual perspective, when I weigh it, and also from a practical perspective, it doesn't seem wise for Black people to vote Democrat. I just want to know what you feel about that, Pastor.
Yes, I can meet you on the 50-yard line. The other side of it is I don't see anything of where the Republicans have done anything. Again, I don't think that all Blacks should be Democrats. I don't think they should be all Republican. I think we need it on both sides. The Republicans have not produced anything that I can stand on outside of the issues that you raised in terms of pro-life and LGBT that have advanced the African-American community. I can't point to anything.
That's my point.
And last one, Marcus,
haven't given them a chance. Yes, sir.
So we got,
and not to interrupt you because we got to let.
Yeah,
yes,
Pastor Jamal, you got to be out of here at 8:50, right? 8:55. Okay, go ahead, Marcus. We got one more.
We know that when you have a vehicle.
I guess that's my point. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other things we could talk about, but the thing is, if you look at it, you know, the history is where the biggest Black populations are, Democrats are running the show. And so when have we really even given the Republicans a chance to do anything? I mean, we could argue that, but if you look at all the major Black cities, it's Democrat mayors, it's Democrat people that are running it. So I guess my argument would be, why not give the Republicans a chance?
Because you're saying that from the presupposition that Republicans have not been in charge. So when you deal with that state funding, for example, here in Georgia, they were trying to build a subway system from Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, into DeKalb. The governor refused it. You can also talk about where the governor refused funding for people to get access to healthcare that came from the federal government. So I had a Black mayor, but a Democratic mayor, but I had a Republican governor who refused federal funding. So again, the responsibility and the onus is on both sides. It's not just the mayor who is not operating outside of state funds and the state funds that are not running outside of the federal funds. So all of them have got to figure out, how do we operate in a bipartisan community so it doesn't just rest on one? So we've had Republican presidents who have had an opportunity. We've had Republican mayors who have had opportunities and governors. So on both sides, you have to make that demand, not just to one side.
But you only make the domain to one side. So that means that you ain't sticking up for what you talk about, Jamal.
I hear you. So, I mean, that's something that we would just have to, at a different point, pull up the actual, you know, timelines and look at it. I know for a fact, Chicago, California, you know, New York, there's been a couple Republicans, you know, here and there. Last thing I ask you, how do you feel about, you know, the whole thing with Kamala Harris, right? She said something about sex changes for prisoners, but we can't pay for, you know, cancer patients. Like, how do they have money and taxpayer dollars for stuff like that? And how do we not look at that like that's demonic? That's strange to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got all this money for all this other stuff, and it's anti-Christ stuff.
Pastor Marcus, I agree with you.
You lying.
I think that, again, I don't think that every issue, I would hope every issue that President Trump represents, you stand beside. I don't stand beside every issue that Vice President Kamala has proffered.
Oh my!
And so I think that there needs to be a reallocation. I don't know how much of the show you were on, but I think there needs to be a reallocation because something is wrong with most of our public school systems are underfunded, our teachers are underfunded, and they don't have the access to the technology that's necessary to globally compete. So I agree with you.
Well, I don't want to debo the conversation. I would love to sit down and talk with you, you know what I'm saying, privately, publicly, but I want to let other people get on here and just be respectful. So
it's an honor to talk to you.
No, it's listen, I appreciate you, Marcus, for coming up and asking those questions because again, Pastor Jamal, this whole week we've been going at.
So Jamal have lied that whole joint, and the reason why Dana is saying it because now I'm about to give you facts. Check it out.
Real big, his name is Nicholas. I just don't want the, Real big Nicholas said, this ain't no church. Shaking my head. If you support Kamala, who's openly pro-choice and pro-SA, you're a fake Christian, period. So, I know how to comment. I know how to respond to a lot of things, but what would you say to a person like that?
Yes. Lord. So since we've had the vice president, we've had so many comments and questions, and they've not been from atheists. They have been believers who don't know how to disagree with grace. In all of our getting, we get in understanding and we do it in the spirit of love. Amen. And so this young man wrote on the page, New Birth can't be a church if we support Kamala and who openly supports pro-choice and is pro-sexual perversion. One of the things that I want you to resist is believing the Bible only has two issues of morality. What? I need you to listen to me very carefully. You can be pro-choice and anti-abortion. You can be pro-choice and anti-abortion. Jesus said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If you let me in, I will come in and sit with you. In other words, you have a choice. Life and death is in front of you. Choose life. We are electing a president. We're not electing a pastor. We are under a democracy and not a theocracy. Wow. What I would say, Mona, to churches and Christians who are anti our stance on pro-choice, I would say carry that same theological impetus that if you are pro-choice, what do you do for the babies after they're born? So these same evangelical churches are not adopting black babies. These same evangelical churches are trying to cut prenatal care. These same pro-choice churches are not saying anything about gun reform. These same pro-life choices are still advocating for the death penalty. And so if we're going to deal with pro-choice and deal with pro-life, be pro-life for everything. I don't want you to care about black babies just when they're in the womb. Care for black babies so that they have the same education at public schools in DeKalb as they do out in Alpharetta. Have that same care. And so I am for black babies being born, but I also want the churches to be able to stand 10 toes down on what does the life mean after the life gets here. And let's have a robust discussion around it. Secondly, on sexual perversion. The Bible says something that I want you to hear from your pastor. The Lord says, love your neighbor as yourself, not the neighbors you agree with.
What?
Not the neighbors you are like. So we have a responsibility to love same gender loving people the same that we love heterosexual people. Something is wrong with a church that will beat up homosexuals but won't say nothing about deacons sleeping with choir members. The same level of righteousness has got to be across the board.
Our responsibility is to love. We've got to love God with our whole heart. And the church many times has been found guilty of apostolic terrorism because we are not loving people with the love of Christ. We've got to operate and execute in love, even if our theology is different, our ideology is different, and what we are seeing at Madison Square Garden last week was not Christ-like virtues, and I didn't see no preacher condemn them for what it is that they said in hate speech. Not one of them white evangelical preachers defended Puerto Rico. Not one of them said anything about the watermelon on top of the black man's head. Not one of them said anything about the presidential candidate telling women, I'm gonna make you accept what it is that I want to do. So preachers, if y'all want to check me, check yourself before you wreck yourself, and understand that the Bible reigns on the just and the unjust.
So it's okay to use the Bible to sin and to cover your bullshit. But it's not okay to correct the preachers that's using the Bible to cover their sin and to mask their sin. See, never knew. I agree with you. As a pastor, he should be preaching no fornication. Right. Mama Murray said, we have no cultural obligations. Facts. But then Gossip Bay said, that is true. I'm sorry. You don't have to be sorry about anything, Gossip Bay. Oh, over here, stand in your truth. That's what I love over here. Because if everybody agree, then I'm going to question something. Somebody out there disagree with me somewhere. And that's what makes us over here different from everybody else. Because I don't like yes people. If I'm wrong, I need you to tell me I'm wrong. Don't yes me. So I agree with you, Gossip Bay. And you said that is true. I'm sorry. That's your truth. I agree with your truth. But I don't agree with your theology. Now, the problem is Jamal have had kids out of the pulpit. And everybody swept it under the rug. But you had a person like me that had a kid that was nothing but a drummer that got kicked out of a church. And everybody made it world news. What's the difference between him and I? At the end of the day, any pastor that used the Bible to mask their BS is a hypocrite. Because you can't preach to me not to do something and you doing the very same thing that I'm doing. And guess what? We loving it. I've never seen nobody that sinned and said they hated the sin. I've never seen nobody that loved the sin, but that did the sin and said, oh, I hated that sin. You're a liar. And the Bible also spoke of a man that's double-minded is unstable in all their ways, right? So how can you be pro-choice and pro-abortion? That sounds like an idiot. 2 kids, and you better try 4. So this is the conclusion of part 1 of the Jamal Bryant and Dana J saga, because tomorrow I'm coming back with part 2. This is what he don't like people to see. Check it out.
I ain't ever scared. In case you forgot, I'm from the west side of Baltimore. If you got a problem, pull up on me.
Never scared?
As a man, the streets don't want you here.
Jamal Bryant, you should be ashamed of yourself for selling out your people for your fame and your wealth. SRB, we know where them perks went. 12, leave the city, that's your first step.
And kids, yo, cause you're a fucking disgrace, a golden, a guardian angel for Satan. For who? Cause you damn sure ain't guarding me, nigga. Get the fuck up out of here.
What you do for Tyrone West again?
Empower what?
This is without question one of the more rewarding videos that you might see today. Is it going to make you, is it going to increase your walk with the Lord? Probably not, but it's going to show you that what you do, what you say is going to follow you. As I say, the internet is undefeated. And so when you make a statement like Jamal Bryant made the other day about coming after people and so forth, and the kind of braggadocious, the toughness, you got thousands of folks surrounding you, listening to you, and you're never scared. In case you forgot, let's just listen to some of the tough talk that he gave the other day.
But I ain't afraid of the spooks that sat at the door. These runaway slaves hiding in the White House gonna throw.
Wait, but I thought Jamal said he didn't talk about the Republican Party like that. Listen to what he's saying. I told you, his lies catches up with him quickly. Check it out.
Runaway slaves hiding in the White House at the door.
Some of the tough talk that he gave the other day.
But I ain't afraid of the spooks that sat at the door. These runaway slaves hiding in the White House gonna throw my picture up thinking that I'm gonna be afraid.
Runaway slaves and thinking I'm gonna be afraid.
I ain't ever scared. In case you forgot, I'm from the west side of Baltimore. If you got a problem, pull up on me.
Let's remember that. He ain't never scared from the west side of Baltimore. Pull up on me. We're going to remember that.
We ain't running no more. My running days are over. We don't have to run anymore. You only run when you're scared.
Okay. You only run when you're scared.
Would you look at your neighbor and tell him I ain't running nowhere? I feel bad for them coons in the White House who are in there tap dancing for massa, wearing bow ties, shinning and grinding, laughing like nothing is funny. Get out of there, Negro, and stand with your people.
What Jamal Bryant would like to get you to believe is that he is a man of the streets. He's for the people. Remember now, he says that he's from the west side of Baltimore, but he is in a church in Atlanta. There's a lot of different circumstances as to why he is down in Atlanta. The people in Baltimore don't care too much about him, at least those that are in the streets, the ones that he says that he's for. And I don't know if it's the same way in Atlanta or not. I'm pretty sure it probably is. I mean, those that, who aren't necessarily in the rough places that he talks about, I'm pretty sure he's not visiting those places. I'm pretty sure he's learned his lesson. And so do you want to see what happened when he was confronted? Do you want to see one of the reasons why he's not in Baltimore anymore? You want to see if he really, truly is ever scared?
I'm the streets, man. What I want to know, man, cold-blooded, man. You, like I'm saying, man, you say you for the people. You got our people all up in your church. You know what I mean? You're supposed to lead these people, man.
Well, this is him talking to someone, and I don't know why he's out here by himself, but he's out walking in the projects in Baltimore. And they don't appreciate you out here. You're marching, you're saying, and you're doing all these things. You're raising funds, you're raising money, and the streets ain't seeing it. No one is seeing. No one's getting a dime of this. No one's getting a benefit of this. And you're pretending like you're representing us, and you're not. And so what happens? These folks in the street let them know. As a matter of fact, tell them, don't come back. Leave the city.
And I mean, I understand that y'all stuff, but you had no answers for like, yo, man, then you come down here like Tyrone been on the ground like 100, like 300 something days. You down here now. Don't come.
What'd you do for Tyrone?
We don't want you nowhere in our city, yo. Like we don't even want you on our streets. Like you disrespect our streets, man. This me, PFK Boom. I was on the front. You disrespected up here north, and you came down there. You ain't even fighting no war with us, yo. You ain't had nothing on your shirt. You ain't had no guns or nothing. And then you fucking with our oppressors. Wow. What you mean? How you fucking with Roland Blake and all them, man? You trying to kill us, man?
Where were you for Tyrone West?
Man. Well, we telling you are. The streets feel like you killing us, man. All right. I won't come on. No, we don't want you in our fucking city now. Then get the fuck out the whole city. Is it that easy? Then we can better get you the fuck out of here. No, sir. Well, check this out, man. Don't come in our don't come nowhere down here no more. Wherever PFK Boom at, don't come. I know you can tell your henchmen. I know you, yo, Tinidi and all them. I know you before I seen right about all that. Get the henchmen. Don't come down here no more. Boom, said it. Me, as a man, the streets don't want you here. I'm speaking for them. So we see you here. Okay. So you said you won't come on my motherfucking streets no more, right? Don't bring your ass down here no fucking more. I mean it, yo. On my fucking kids, yo. Cause you're a fucking disgrace, a guardian angel for Satan. For who? Cause you damn sure ain't guard me, nigga. Yeah, get the fuck up out of here.
What you do for Tyrone West again?
Empower what? This nigga?
Jamal Bryant, you should be ashamed of yourself for selling out your people for your fame and your wealth. SRB, we know where them perks went. 12, leave the city, that's your first step.
Yeah, now notice him. That's him walking away, and then even the young lady pulls up and she raps about him. And while she's rapping, he's just walking away, fade into the distance. I'm not saying he should have stood there and fought the person. The fact of the matter is, they don't respect you. Think about it. The church doesn't respect you. The people in the streets don't respect you. Only those people that are kind of in between, you know, the neither hot nor cold folks, the lukewarm folks who are just going along to get along, the socialites, the people who are going to church just because it is, you know, it's a fanciful thing and they see it as a means to come up. They go to your church because it's a social club. Don't forget this, Jamal Bryant. The Bible says this, but if you will not do so, behold, you have sinned against the Lord, and be sure your sins will find you out. People are going to know, people should know that you are not, one, you're not for black people like you say you are. You are certainly not for the gospel like you say you are. You just, that sermon, not one time do you give the gospel. Not one time at a church. Not one time do you mention Jesus. I'm sorry. I take it back. You mention Jesus one time, and that is you trying to get the offering. That's the only time you invoke his name is to get money. This is why you are an embarrassment, one, to black folks and also to the church.
Ain't ever scared. In case you forgot, I'm from the west side of Baltimore. If you got a problem, pull up on me.
As a man, the streets don't want you here. Go.
If you're a man. So with that being said, man, this concludes part 1. Part 2, I'm gonna finish it out tomorrow. But when you invite people to pull up on you, you can't have like 9,000 security guards there. And when a person come to talk to you, and you can't say, oh no, I don't want to talk to them. But you invited people to come talk to you. So what if somebody just walk up on a pulpit while you're preaching and say, yo, I came to talk to you because you invited me? Then all the people gonna be like, oh, that person out of order, he's the devil. No, you invited people to come talk to you. Listen, man, Jamal Bryant, you've hurt a lot of colored people trying to oppress or trying to uphold the oppressors, bro. And you got people in Baltimore that'll sit back and that will defend your actions. And some of them have churches. Whether you friend or foe, if you can't check the person that's doing wrong and they respect your checkness, then what are you to that person? Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Be someone important. Be yourself. And until next time, y'all know what the drill is. And until next time, I gotta put it to you like this. God is good. And God is good all the time. Check it out.
DanaJay hood season, man. I'm talking about that white dirt for all your vegetables and potatoes and anything from the garden, salads and everything. They got that Cajun. Oh my goodness, they got that ooh child. Don't forget that seafood. Last but not least, he got this thing called tropical. Go to DanaJay Spices at yahoo.com.
And one thing I want to say, I want to thank everybody that donated tonight. I want to thank everybody that even wanted to donate and couldn't. I want to thank everybody that have a mind and to donate. And once again, even when it comes to Jamal Bryant and the stuff he's doing wrong that's hurting people, I pray that God touch him where that he can at least apologize to the people that he caused to lose their jobs that are colored people. And remember, all this was started because people that were hired as seasonal people were let go because their season and was over, and they went to the news and said, oh no, Target is staging this thing about black people. And Jamal jumped on it, not knowing what was going on. Y'all heard the interview from a high person that's in, or that was in Target. And listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's not saying. Because he even said that he can go on and on. But with that being said, man, DanaJay up out of here. Y'all be blessed. Love every last one of y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Shit. Oh, no. Whoa. I'm sorry. I'll see y'all tomorrow during the day. Because tomorrow night, I got a big event. I'm going to be with the baddies. So if you're in Atlanta, holler at me. I want to see you there. Peace. God loves you. So do I. DanaJay logging off. 1.
Man, they won't overbook me. I was down bad, I shook it. Ain't nobody gave shit to me, I took it. Might as well pop shit since they looked it. Why this? Do you know how long it took it? Why this? And I take too long to book it. How shit can smell what I cook? Cause the time I book, I'm a friend, I told you so. I was it's great time to give me 7 turn around, turned up on both of niggas. Was thought I was local niggas. Now they street no dope with niggas. That's what I told the niggas. I'ma need that deposit up front. Nigga, that's 2,500. Yesterday ain't the same price today. Nigga can't afford me no way. Can I get a S? Nigga stuck, sick, stressed. But I'm out here studying no business. Bitch, no business and no blessed. Niggas broke talking about who the best. Who the dope sticking notes all over my desk. I was saved by the bell like I'm Mr. Bell. And hate to tell the nigga you fail. I'm popping, plus this ice on me. All my pockets swell. I'm bumping, thank you very much. I'm going out like Elvis. You know that's a nugger. Been making sassy since I can't use a brother. Nigga, we move laws over here. You want to smoke, bro? We shoot hard over here. We know you love, bro. Cause all the chances go, bro. She mad cause she thought that nigga had still ain't done shit. Hold up, baby daddy. I'm gonna do that front bitch. How you let your bitch wear the pants? Niggas unfit. Ran into your shooter. He shoot through the pump, bitch. Why your niggas even trigger? Bitch, you know that. Oh, yeah. Let me say it again. Out of all I've been through, I'm still here. Should I be lied on, mistreated, talked about and abused, but I'm still here. Many days I thought I was gonna lose my mind, but I'm still by the grace. I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again. Lost a lot of people and lost a lot of things, but I'm still here. Somebody can testify and tell somebody. Many people turned their back on me and walked away, but I'm still here. Oh, Jesus, can I be honest today? Life ain't really been easy, but God's been good, and that's why I'm still here. Oh, it's by the grace. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. I'm still it's by the grace. Can I get milk with it? I'm still here. I did. Said I know that I'm still. Said I know that I'm still. Woo! Every now and then, when I look back over my life,